Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to our No Rare Connect event. This is our second event, and it's titled Journaling Your Journey, which I think was a very clever title, whoever came up with that. It was not me. So just to introduce myself, my name is Kira Deneen. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a licensed certified genetic counselor and also the host and producer of DNA Today, which is a multi-award winning genetics podcast for those that are interested in rare diseases, which you must be if you're watching this. We have over 40 episodes specifically about rare diseases. So as I said, we're going to be talking about journaling your journey. So as many people in the rare disease space have experienced, living with a rare disease, there can be a lot of unknowns that come with that. Symptoms can worsen quickly, show up quickly. And that's why at No Rare, we created this journaling tool to help you be able to track all this information. And Laura is here. We're going to be able to chat about how she was part of coming up with this concept and executing it, and just coming from a standpoint of just living through taking care of a child that has a rare disease. So we're going to hear from her. And we are also going to watch this really great video that Jonathan, who I think is actually tuning in live here, created so that we could learn a little bit more about this. So a little bit about Jonathan. So we've gotten to know him at No Rare. And over this time, he's actually become one of our rare allies. And for those that are watching now live or later, we'd really love to connect with you. You can email in at support@norare.com. So we'd love to connect with you there. These are real people that have a connection to the rare disease community. So as I mentioned, so Jonathan has a rare disease himself. He recently had a kidney transplant due to damage to his kidney related to his rare disease. And he just created this awesome dynamic video that is also kind of like almost TikTok style. It's short and snappy and dynamic. So I think we should take a look at that. And then we're going to talk with Laura and kind of dive into this tool a little bit more. So let's watch the video.
Hi, I'm John, a rare patient born with focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, also known as FSGS. When it comes to managing work, life, and more importantly, my health, things can become overwhelming at points. Being in a constant battle and keeping track of doctor's appointments, work tasks, and those important life dates that you don't want to miss can become tiresome. Being an active and engaged member in the rare disease community, I found the No Rare journaling tool. It helps you focus on the positives and is a great way to connect the dots in an unfamiliar picture. Keeping a journal helps you create order when your world feels like it's in chaos. You get to know and understand yourself a little bit better by revealing your most private fears, thoughts, and feelings. Look at your writing time as personal relaxation time. It's a time when you can de-stress and wind down. One of the major pros with the No Rare journaling tool is having the ability to connect and speak to a rare ally, which is a dedicated rare disease resource committed to helping you. Can't forget to mention that you can monitor your physical and mental aspects in your life and track your emotional health and fatigue with surveys that are found on the No Rare app. The No Rare journaling app helps me claim my life back so I'm not missing out on those important life dates. Again, I'm John, a member of your No Rare community.
Well, thank you so much, John, for creating such an engaging video. I think it's a great introduction to the journaling tool, and actually get to see that snapshot of you being able to fill it out, talking with one of our No Rare allies, which again, you can email into support@norare.com and you will connect with a person in our community. We're joined by Laura Will, who is very important to this tool as well. So you are one of the creators of the tool, and you really pull from a lot of your experience being a rare mom to Alden and being a rare content creator. So I would love to hear how important journaling is to you and what role this has served in your life, and just in terms of, processing some of what comes with being a rare mom, and then just how the tool works and what influences from your life led to designing the tool and kind of working it out. So tell us a little bit of, about Alden and your experience leading to coming up with this journaling tool.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kira. So I am a rare mom, and after my second child, my son, was diagnosed with a rare disease, I did start writing things down more often. I had a notebook. I used kind of a running notes tab in my phone. I was writing down, the symptoms that were popping up. And when I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning, just like head spinning with another question to ask a new doctor that we were meeting with next week, just jotting it down. So it started to help me feel a little bit more organized on top of those thoughts, and then progress with time to think a little bit more about what are the joys of this rare parenting journey. What are the challenges? And, John speaks to this in his video, thinking of this time on the platform with this tool as relaxation time. I think of it a little bit more of like a release, okay, like I've put that information somewhere. Now I don't need to have it in my working memory because, we are all so taxed as caregivers and as, people living with rare disease. So when No Rare asked me to provide some feedback and input when they were working to create this tool, I was really excited. It just felt like a great way to be a part of something and give back to a wonderful community. So I really just shared what would help me and got to sit in small groups with other rare disease patients and rare disease caregivers and hear what would help them. But they've now created this tool and it's available to all. It is free on norare.com. And I guess I'd love to run through a couple of the features that
would be awesome.
Yeah,
let's go through features.
First off, it is completely confidential. So you go in, you create an account. You create a password. And once you're in there, you could see kind of that smooth layout in that great video. But each entry is time-stamped, so it's easy to return to. And when you finish an entry, you're able to tag it. So you can kind of categorize your thoughts, whether they're pertinent to a hospital visit or a new symptom that came up, or just kind of an emotional release, right? So when you want that information later, when you're like sitting in that doctor's appointment, and they're like, well, how has Alden's and seizures been? You're like, actually, I have some data points here, and you can remember things that happened, and when they happened 6 weeks out or 6 months out. So that's really empowering. In terms of capturing thoughts, you can write free text. You can also just like click an emoji if you're just like, I want to get this done today. I'm trying to get in the habit of journaling, but I have 30 seconds to do this, and I'm going to do it in an emoji form.
People are definitely relating as they hear that. They're like, yes, I have time for an emoji. I may not have time to type a whole entry. Yes.
Totally. And it can be hilarious to revisit your emoji journey. And then really, another really cool feature that I have not seen in any other kind of journaling, writing activity is you have access to surveys, right? So you can access like an anxiety survey or a fatigue survey. These are evidence-based surveys that then you can take, at one point in time to be like, is my fatigue really that bad? Or even more powerful, you can track it over time to look back and be like, okay, this fatigue thing is really a growing issue for me. And I guess that's the power of this and really any tool, is that the more you use it, the more insights you get. You get insights into yourself and your disease state or your loved one's disease state, and are, just able to reflect and kind of pick up on patterns, correlate symptoms with changes in medication. It's just, the sky's the limit. And that leads me to like kind of my last thought here as that this is in beta. This is new. No Rare is looking for feedback. So they're looking to make this absolute best tool for the rare disease community. So I challenge anybody who is watching this or stumbles upon it to just check out the tool and try using it and see how it works for you. The good and the bad. just so that we can continue to improve it. I love a company and a tool that is actively seeking feedback.
Yes.
So there's so much power in the out there for you to grab.
Yeah, I think that's great because people that get involved now with it can say, well, I kind of want to be more like this or have this feature tweaked, and then it will happen. So you can help create the tool that you really want to use. So I think that's just such a fantastic aspect to it. As you said, No Rare is actively looking. And one of the reasons we're doing this webinar is not just so that people are aware that it's available to them, but to know you can make an impact on how this tool is developed in the near future. Because last time I checked, there was about 300 people in beta using it. So it's not like there's only 3 people using it. We do have a nice number, but it would be great. I mean, as we know in the rare disease space, when we have more people that are doing something, we like that N number to be high for studies and things like that. So I think that that's really useful. And yeah, there's just so many great features. And I think one of them that was really important that you're talking about was like the tracking, to be able to see like, well, I feel like, when you were talking about Alden seizures, you might say, well, I feel like they've gotten better. But instead of saying, well, I think that this is the case, you could say, well, let me look back at the journal. Let me look back at the ones that, I was seeing was happening and I documented, and like, how long did that seizure last? Like, that must be very hard to remember, especially when you are going on less sleep as a parent, I would imagine.
It's really easy to second guess yourself as a patient or a caregiver. Doctor's appointments can be intimidating, and just the ability to self-report or report for your loved one with some degree of accuracy is great. Or just to lean into your own journey and be like, yeah, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah. The self-reflection part I think is really great, because I feel like when I do get into journaling, just my own, like, here are my thoughts. So this is what's happening in my life, but it feels so cathartic when you're doing it. And then I'm like, man, why don't I do this more? And then months go by and then the cycle continues. But I think if I, knew that there was a tool like this, that's much easier, where it's like, it doesn't have to be an hour and a half session where you're sitting down and you're writing so much. It can be, if you're getting in that zone and you're feeling the self-reflection and it's feeling like self-care, go for it. Right. And that's what you said, that the tool is so customizable when it comes to that. And that there's some things that are just automatically there. Like, it's automatically going to be time-stamped, which I think is so great, because then you can keep track of things. If you are, as we said at the top, of here's an emoji of like how I'm feeling and 2 words of a symptom. And then you can say, oh, well, that was happening on September 23rd kind of thing. So I think that's such a useful part of it as well. And one thing I was wondering about it, is there a search feature where you can like search something like seizures, or search something like, stomach problems, or whatever symptom is that you're looking at? Or maybe is this to come?
There is a search feature, so you're able to categorize your note or any entry after the fact, and you can make custom categories, because we know one box does not fit all rare diseases, and that would be impossible. So the tool is designed to be customizable for that reason, and easily searchable. And I just love, like, habit change is really hard, right? Like, we all wish we were exercising 3 to 5 times a week and eating all the veggies. But so to create, a new habit around documenting, around journaling, this is just like such an easy entry point, because it's on your phone. You can, tag or flag, highlight that web page, and you can do it on the fly, which is great for creating a new habit, and it's going to start to feel good. And I also love reflecting. It's like, if you don't do it every day or every week, meeting yourself where you're at and saying, like, you know what, these are the things that were worth documenting in my journey in the last month or 3 months. And that shows what's showing up as important to you in and of itself.
So well said. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's so helpful. And I think, as we've been talking about it, this tool was made by you, Jonathan, others who are in the rare disease community. So I think that is what sets this apart from other tools that are out there. This is actually created by people that are in the community and have experienced challenges that go with rare diseases, so that they can be like, okay, this is what I could have used, and you're like, let's just make it. So I think that's just really helpful, the way that you're like, no rare disease is the same as the next. Last time I checked, I think there's over 10,000 rare diseases. We were saying 7,000 for a while, but I think 10,000 is the new numbers I've been seeing. And so there's just so many out there. So that's why you guys wanted to make this super customizable and just really easy to use too, that you're watching TV, or, you're kind of maybe getting into bed and you're kind of having your routine of like, shutting down. You can say, oh, well, let me just put an entry in before I set my alarm for the morning, kind of just working that into your routine. Or like you said, when something comes up, you document, and then maybe you only have a few entries in there, but those are the ones that were really worth documenting to bring up to different specialist doctors that you're meeting with. So I think that that's really, really awesome. And I just wanted to, mention again that we're in beta with this. We would love to have you try this out. You can start journaling at app.norare.com/sign up. If that's a little too much, you can go to norare.com. There is a tab at the top for journaling. And when you click on that, they'll have you sign up. The reason we have you sign up, Laura mentioned this earlier, is because we want this to be private information that only you are accessing. So that's why we have you sign up for No Rare, so that way you can access your entries later and have that be private. Obviously, privacy is very, very important when it comes to data and all of that. Any other thoughts, Laura, before we close out?
I guess I'm just thinking about like the initial sit down meetings. I mean, it must have been a year ago, at least, sitting around virtually, of course, with a bunch of other rare disease patients, kind of brainstorming what this could be, and really loving hearing from others what could be helpful to them, and almost being pleasantly surprised of like, oh, wow, I wouldn't have used that way. Or, I was really thinking about it for symptom management, and you're really thinking about it as kind of an emotional release, and that it has become something that can hold space for all of that, and any of that is really neat. So I am, our personal journey, I'm a caregiver. I have a child with severe cerebral palsy due to a really rare brain malformation. We deal with epilepsy, reflux, motor issues. And so that's kind of my cohort of people, right? And I feel empowered to share this tool with my, CP community, with the polymicrogyria community, so that this tool continues to get better for the people within my rare disease community, right? So I guess like it's kind of a call to anybody who's interested in engaging with it, also to perhaps share it with, whatever Facebook group or advocacy group that you're involved with in rare disease, because then, it allows other people who are looking for something like this to discover it. Even if it's not like your perfect cup of tea, then the people out there who want this will more easily access it, and then the tool becomes better for your specific community. So that I guess that's my final thought.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I think kind of just passing it along and seeing who is really going to gravitate towards it. It may not be the person that is watching this right now, but it could be someone else that is in their specific rare disease community, someone else just in the general rare disease community that they're connected with, or other groups to share it with, to say, hey, you might want to check this out. I thought of you because you've mentioned journaling or wanting to, and not really sure how to get started and work all that out. So
or just
really
need a place to put all of the thoughts, and you forgetting something or missed it, and it's like one-stop shop.
Yes, just put it all in there, and then you'll have it to refer back to. So yeah, I mean, and just play around with it, give it a shot. app.norare.com/sign up. So we would love to have you guys sign up and be part of our beta. And please let us know, like, hey, this tool doesn't work for me. I wish it did this. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it.
And there will be a form available so that people, so their streamlined ability to give feedback is the intention.
Lovely. Can't wait to see it. Well, yeah. So if you want to contact our No Rare team, our support team, you can email in support@norare.com. They can even take you through personally how to use it. So if you're like, I'm someone that kind of needs a hands-on tutorial, we will hop on Google Meet, Zoom, something, and just walk you through it personally. So again, our rare allies are people that are directly in the rare disease community. And that is everybody that works for No Rare. That, we're all people that are, the rare disease community is very close to our hearts, and many people are very much in the rare disease community of being, a patient advocate, a caregiver, having some kind of role. So our rare allies are really awesome. I'm just very grateful to have met many of you and, just connect and talk and hear your stories. But again, support@norare.com. We would love to connect with you there and let us know how it goes. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are looking forward to more of these installments of No Rare Connect live events. And have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever or whenever you guys are listening to this. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And thank you, Laura and Jonathan, for creating that awesome video. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.